To understand Pythagorean theorem, we first have to understand our equation a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So when we look at our first problem, we had to plug in a and b. So how do we know what's a and b? Okay, so the lengths of the triangle, which always has to be a right triangle, are a and b. So we can plug in our first one, 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to c squared. So 3 squared is equal to 9, and 4 squared is equal to 16. When we add those, we get 25, but keep in mind this is squared, so it's not actually the length of our hypotenuse. So then we have to find the square root of that in order to undo the square, and that is 5, so x is equal to 5. And our c squared will always be our hypotenuse. So for the second problem, we just have to do the same thing as last time and plug in our a and b. So that would be 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to c squared. 5 squared is 25, 12 squared is 144, and 25 plus 144 is equal to 169. Again, we have to undo our squared by doing the square root, and that is equal to 13. For our next one, notice that we actually have our hypotenuse. And remember that the c squared is always the hypotenuse. So then our problem will actually look something like a squared plus 7 squared is equal to 25 squared. Now, 7 squared is 49, and 25 squared is 625. And in order to undo this, we have to subtract. So 625 minus 49 is equal to 576. Again, we still have to undo our square by doing the square root. And the square root of 576 is 24. So that means that a is equal to 24. Then for this last one, we again have our hypotenuse, so then our problem will look like a squared plus 6 squared is equal to 10 squared. Now, 6 squared is equal to 36, and 10 squared is equal to 100. Again, to undo this problem to find a squared, we have to subtract. So 100 minus 36 is equal to 64. Then we have to undo our square by finding the square root, and that is equal to 8. So that means that a is equal to 8.